really, I feel, Reverend Young is just trying very hard, to touch us, right? So let's really applaud him as we welcome him back again, Reverend.
피곤하세요?
You're tired, aren't you? Are you sure?
예. 하나님의 성품이 들어가시기 시작해서 안 피곤하실 거예요.
You will not be tired now because we're talking about God's characteristics.
그렇죠?
Yeah?
대답이 없는 거 보니까.
There's no answer. So again.
대답 안 하시면 계속 푸시합니다.
So again, if you don't answer, I'm gonna keep pushing you until you answer me.
하나님의 속성이
So actually, God's characteristics. To become one with God's characteristics should be the goal of our blessed families. So if the church becomes clear, big, it's not in size, and then basically as we expand, for example, not only the tribe, but the family, the church, but also the nation, the tribe, the world, and humanity, as continue, then that would be Chonilguk. So of course, normally, all our families should definitely become one with God's attributes, but then we have to think, as God's children, how can we become? So it's not only internal. It's not only becoming the internal characteristics, becoming one with the internal characteristics, but because we lost due to the fall, and we currently have Satan's attributes, we have to think about how to remove it. This is also a very important task we have. So if we can remove the Satan's attributes, then we can learn and understand how to bring in God's attributes. So basically, the Messiah was the one to find this truth, and us becoming and having these internal attributes of God is our task, our responsibility. No one else can do that for us. In God's world, the physical world, the external world can quickly be created, and this is God is basically by us trying to resemble the internal attributes of God. This is quite important because it's our life. It's our life goal, and this is the way we can actually. Here we have nothing to talk about. So I think we can watch a video here. But let me just talk again. So, Satan's characteristics. We've learned about Satan's characteristics. There should be another video on but they're not showing it. So, So now that we know Satan's activities and Satan's characteristics, we can learn how to remove it, because Satan actually, Lucifer, gave us those characteristics. In the beginning, it was the first thing was comparing. So because we were comparing, we learned to compare with the other. Lucifer was looking at Adam and Eve and his position, and he started comparing. While he was comparing himself, he was like, he realized what was different about him and human beings, and what he was trying to solve. Basically, he made the fall. When we live in this life, we tend to compare a lot. So when or get compared. So while we do this, so of course it's very good to compare creativity, but then in the idea that I want to follow them, I want to be this way, but because we are actually comparing from the fallen point of view, it becomes different. For example, look at men. They think like, oh, that girl is beautiful, she's fine, she looks really nice. Because why is she saying that? He's comparing at that time with the wife or the person beside him. So then the ladies as well, they also compared among themselves. So comparing is usually about looking at the person beside you and then the other person, and basically reducing the person beside you to a level, oh, he's not as looking as good as the other one. So basically, for example, what they do is they're comparing with the boy they know. So comparing now is about not thinking about the goodness of the other person, but it's about centered on yourself and decreasing the other. So don't compare. Because if you feel like comparing, just start thinking, oh my God, that's Satan coming up. Just think like that quickly. You understand? What's the second thing? It's basically it makes you sad. It makes you complain. When Satan compared, he started complaining. Why is that? Why is she actually better than me? Huh? I'm also a child. Why do they have everything? I'm born before them. I'm supposed to have been. Because they started complaining. That was their life. His life, actually, Lucifer. And then we think, oh, why is my family not as happy as the person beside? But again, we're comparing the two families. Why is my family not living as well as that one? What is it? So again, we start comparing, makes us complain. And then what happens? You start having to desire. And this kind of desire is an evil desire. You have it's like, your parents have money, yeah? They're like this. Your work is good, isn't it? So you have a lot of money, you're good, yeah? That kind of thought. And then all of a sudden, what kind of you will definitely have some ill luck. And you had some good luck. I didn't have that kind of luck. So of course he doesn't see the goodness of what's happening to that person. But he's trying his best. But then he tries so hard to because he has of his excessive desire for that, and he tries so hard how to remove that. How will he remove that joy from that person? So of course you have like 8, yeah. You have got 8 things. Okay, even though I don't work, I'm gonna try and see how I can remove that one joy out of your life. So that's kind of the desire they have, and then later what happens because of that action? The action becomes evil action, crimes. I'm gonna take your wife. I'm gonna take your husband. Anything that can make someone else sad. So that's how it happened because of that one problem. And then what happens next? After they take it. So then, of course, because of that, they start blaming others. I was not. And then, of course, the person I wasn't going to be like that. He didn't want to go to that level or that up to there, but because it just became. If there was no one to compare with, I would not have gone to that up to there. So what did he do? It's because I saw it with this one eye that I have. And then because of that person, I started crying. You are the problem.
Because you are seen by me.
Because I saw you. I did a mistake. Because I saw you, what you had, I made a crime. So everything is because of you. It's your fault. Even the crime is because of you. I did this crime. Even the reason why I took your husband is because of you. I wasn't going to take it. Huh? Do I look happy? So then, of course, they don't want to take responsibility. All of it is they transfer they attack the other one and they transfer it to you. So what happens then? And in this fear, because they want to remove this fear, because they are completely scared and they don't want to take the responsibility, then of course they transfer the responsibility to someone else and they accuse someone else. And it becomes a... 예, 모르겠습니다. 잠시만요.
Justify.
They start justifying themselves. They start justify themselves. And then, of course, the world become terrible. Oh, this world. Oh, if I wasn't in this world, me, I'm okay. Huh? Nothing happened to me. I'm all right. Even though I took someone else's wife, I took someone else's man, even though I did something wrong, I'm all right. Everyone is doing that in the world, isn't it? So they justify themselves. So of course, then they die completely. Their soul dies. So then, of course, they become satanic. They start establishing their own world. And then that is the kind of process by which Satan comes into you. You become a new person to Satan. So then us, as blessed families, we have to do our effort to be able to actually become one with God. How can we actually try to be one? So in the next hour, I'm going to explain you how you can become one with God. But now, what I will do is I will teach you first what you should do, how to cut off of Satan. First, don't compare. If you compare, you will complain. If you complain, you will desire. You have wrong desires. If you desire wrongly, you do crimes. If you do crimes, then you start transferring the blame. If you transfer the blame, then of course you will be justifying yourself. You justify yourself, you've gotten into Satan's world. If I just say up to here, that's okay. That's the flow. I hope you keep the flow. So let's go at slide number 4. What should we do to be able to become one or inherit God? So what we have to do is read the 8 textbooks. In them you can find everything. So the first thing True Father made after the 7th death was the Holy Wine ceremony. Secondly, after that it was the 8 textbooks. In these 8 books, it has all the 8 attributes of God. So, of course, it explains from the beginning all the reasons why even God had to actually follow all the different laws as well that He had created, and then He had to do that by action. So everything is explained why God could not follow His laws as well. And also so of course as well, these books will help you as well learn about 천일국, how to become 천일국 members.
That's Unification Church's text.
그 강의를 조금 뒤에서 좀 얘기하고요.
I'll start a bit.
하나님의 성품이 녹여져 있다. 요것만 여러분들이
So first of all, I'm going to just say that these 8 books contain all the characteristics and the cause of God, how we can become one with God. So again, in these 8 textbooks of our Unification Church made by our true Father, all the characteristics of God are explained inside as well, and how we can become one with it. And I will explain a bit more later. So what I want to say now, I'm going to try and explain the path of completion of our true mother. So the Messiah, what was the second mission of the Messiah? So after he found the truth, he had to create. After he found the truth, he had to. The next mission was not only to create the found, but also was not only to create was also to create the. Sorry, I've lost it. I think he. The second mission of our true parents was to create a good standard for true mother's completion, which means basically recreating Eve. How can he do that? So for Eve to be able to be chosen, she has to have absolute faith, love, and obedience to the person that was chosen by God for her, which is the third Adam. Do you understand? So what is absolute love, absolute obedience, and faith, yeah? Do you have that concept in your mind now, yeah? Don't just say it from the family pledge. You have to think about it now, and the meaning. So of course, even though he came as a complete Adam, he had to find Eve here in the earth, and then from one of these fallen Eves, he had to be able to restore that Eve into the 8 different stages, and help her grow through the 8 stages, and help. And she, as a chosen person, had to have absolute faith, love, and obedience to that person. So true mother, as Eve, once she was chosen, true father asked her 3 things. 3 times. Will you have absolute faith, love, and obedience to me? And of course, he explained all the different, what absolute faith, love, and obedience is from God's point of view. So then he asked again a second question. And then, will you have absolute faith, love, and obedience without even thinking about yourself? 1%. And then he asked a third time. Are you sure? Can you be able to have absolute faith, love, and obedience while completing Eve's mission? And when she answered yes, he chose him. He chose her. Sorry. So then, through God created Adam
아담을 창조하고 완성.
and chose him and created Adam.
아담의 갈비뼈를
And by taking the rib of Adam and creating Eve, that's how we have it in the Genesis of the Bible. What does that mean? It basically means that
당신의 몸과 같이
okay, as Eve